In this video, we're going to look at a quick worked example of finding the area of a non-right angle triangle using 1/2 AB sine C. Let's start off now with a right angle triangle. With a right angle triangle, we have a base and a perpendicular height. So we can see now that this length is at right angles with the base. Let's say the base was 10 centimeters. Let's say that the height was 7 centimeters. To work out the area, we would just do 1/2 base times by height. So it'd be 1/2 10 multiplied by 7. So all we would do from here is simply multiply the 2 and divide by 2. So we could say that the area was 35 square centimeters, or 35 centimeters squared. We were able to do that as we had a perpendicular height. Sometimes we won't be given a perpendicular height, and in these cases we can use 1/2 AB sine C. So here's an example now of a triangle where we're not given the perpendicular height. We could say now that this is going to be side length A, this is going to be side length B, and this is going to be the angle C. To find the area, now we simply say that this is 1/2 AB sine C. So we're looking at multiplying 1/2 by the two sides that enclose the angle. So let's look at an example of this. Let's just draw a quick triangle up, and we will now look at finding the area. Let's say that this is going to be now 65 degrees. So that's my value of C. Let's say that A is going to be 7 and B is going to be 8. It doesn't matter which you call A and B. All we're going to do now is say that the area is going to be 1/2. We're going to have A, which is going to be 7. We're going to have B, which is going to be 8. And then we're going to have the sine of C, which is 65 degrees. So straight for the calculator with this, we've got now 0.5 times by 7 times by 8 times by the sine of 65 degrees when we're working in degrees. Check that you've got your little d there. That gives me 25.37, so we'll say that this is going to be now 25.4, and that will be units squared, and that's given now to 1 decimal place. So nice and straightforward, all we've done is plugged in values. Okay, let's say that we have now a triangle. Let's do another one, and we're told now that the area of this is going to be, let's say it's going to be now 6 centimeters squared. We're going to have a side length now of 3 centimeters, a side length of 5 centimeters, and we want to find this missing angle, which I'm going to call X. So we're given the area this time. So all we need to do is set this up. So we can use 1/2 AB sine C. So we can say that the area is going to be equal to 1/2. We will have now 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied now by the sine of the angle, which is going to be X. So at this stage, what I can now do is divide both sides. This is 15 over 2, which is 7.5. So I can say 6 over 7.5 is equal now to sine X. I can take the inverse sine of both sides. Inverse sine of 6 over 7.5 is going to be equal to X, and we can simply plug that into a calculator. So all we've done is work that backwards. So inverse sine, checking the in degrees mode, and we're going to have 6 divided by 7.5, and then we'll find now the size of the angle X. That's going to give me 53.13. So we can say that X is going to be equal to 53.1 degrees, and again, that's 1 decimal place. So this sketch isn't massively accurate, but it just gives us some idea on how we can work this backwards. Again, you might be given now the size of the angle, you might be given one side length, and you might be given the area, and you need to find the missing length. You might be given other information. So we might, for example, be given now, let's look at another case where we have a triangle, and we're given now 2 side lengths. Let's say that this is going to be, 11 millimeters. Let's say this is going to be 13 millimeters. Let's say that this is going to be 60 degrees. This one is going to now be 40 degrees, and we would now be asked to find the area of the triangle. So all we would do is simply look at these and say, well, these equal up to now 100. Therefore, this is going to be 80 degrees, as the angles in a triangle equal 180. So it's 1/2 multiplied by 11 multiplied by 13 multiplied by the sine of 80 degrees, and we'd simply sub it in. So we've got 11 millimeters, 13 millimeters, and all we've done is found a missing angle and then gone ahead and used it. So do use all of your understanding of triangles and missing lengths and angles to go ahead and find those.